What's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome back to the Gurren Otaku Council podcast. As always, I'm your host, Ace.
And I'm your host, McMillian.
And we are back for another week of beautiful anime with episode 33. Well, today we'll be discussing the first episode, doing an episode review rather, of Bleach episode 1000 Year Blood War. We'll also be doing a review of Spy Family episode 14, as well as the Witch of Mercury episode 2. We also might talk about some stuff from the prologue in episode 1 as well. But however, with all that being said, if you would like to be part of the council and join me and McMillian every week as we discuss all things anime and sometimes manga, then make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, as well as follow us on our social media so you can stay up to date on all things about the council. And with that being said, the council is now in session. Let the meeting begin. How you doing today, McMillian?
I am doing okay, surviving.
that's what we like to hear. So we're gonna go ahead and hop straight into some council announcements, everybody. And we only have one council announcement, and this was the announcement that I forgot from last week. But we are adding weekly anime recommendations to our weekly episodes. So every week we'll recommend a different anime, and then even sometimes our friend McMillian here might even recommend some manga sometimes here and there. So be on the lookout for that as well. But every week we'll be recommending a new anime starting today. So if you want to catch that anime recommendation, then make sure to hang out towards the end of this episode and catch this week's weekly anime recommendation. And with that being said, that is all of our council announcements, and we're just going to hop straight into our first anime review for today, starting off with episode 1 of Bleach, the 1000-Year Blood War. Episode 1, The Blood Warfare. And Bleach is back. Bleach is back. How do you feel about the return of Bleach, McMillian?
Amazing. Honestly, for a long while, Bleach was my favorite of the big three. So to see it come back just did my heart great.
I agree.
It looks amazing. So
that was the same case for me, but then I started watching One Piece, and that was all she wrote. But
I feel it.
Bleach is definitely coming back, and just to remind you all, you motherfuckers, why it's considered one of the big three. Because y'all when Bleach was on his hiatus, y'all was talking all this shit, but we back now. We back and better than ever with new animation and everything. So come see us. Come see us. But no, this episode definitely a great return. It was nice to hear the words Bankai again, as well as it was just nice to just see the not the anime, the OST, his number one soundtrack. Oh my gosh, it's just as great as I remember. Just as great.
Yeah. Man, I everything about the episode I really enjoyed. It was funny because you mentioned Bankai. When that happened, I was like, are we not pulling this out a little bit too early? I mean, I'm not saying you can't stunt.
No, pause, because I was seeing people online talk about that today, and I'm just gonna let y'all know we waited 10 years for this. Shut up. Shut up. Let us see his Bankai.
I mean, that's fine. I just want to say, as long as everyone acknowledges that he didn't need it in that moment.
No, he did not need it, but it's been 10 years, and you don't think we want to hear the words Bankai again on the return? Get out of here. Get out of here.
True.
Somebody had to do it, but no, I do agree. It was not necessarily needed at the moment, but however, I wasn't complaining at all. I was not complaining. But so just a brief rundown real quick, because we don't want to try not to be too long on these episode reviews. So we come back and we see our friends Ichiko and all their shining in glory. Our main four, Ichigo, Orihime, Chad, and damn, what's this man's last name? Not last name. What's his other name? I can't believe I forgot the Quincy's name. Just that fast.
For some reason in my head, I want to say Uryu, but I don't know if that's actually his name. That might be like someone else from the Bleach show.
And now I got to look it up. So you got to go ahead and keep talking real quick.
Well, before we got the introduction to our four, some new Soul Reapers were put to protect Karakura Town from Hollows, and I just want to say the Soul Society are some assholes because they know they don't need to put people there no more.
Uryu, that's his name. So you was right.
Okay.
You were right. You were correct.
back to my rant. It's so sad they're assholes because they don't. They don't need to put people there no more.
Hold on, pause. Just like old girl said, though, we not trying to rely on that motherfucker. We the Soul Society, okay? He's just a substitute Soul Reaper.
I get that, but did you see what happened?
Well, at the same time, that's their fault for not sending strong enough hollows because they do know these hollows, not strong enough hollows, strong enough Soul Reapers because they do know these hollows and Karakura Town are on some other stuff.
That's why I said the Soul Society assholes. One, they don't need them people. I get it. They don't want to rely on Ichigo, whatever. But two, why are you sending people that don't got Shikai at least?
We don't. Oh, hold on. We don't know if they ain't got a Shikai. They just may or may not have used it.
The male Soul Reaper. I'm not going back to look at their names because I don't know that if they're that
He's
important.
not important.
But he saw his friend knocked out with like 3 hollows around him and one chasing him. He ain't gonna bust out a Shikai. That's just bad. That's just bad. That's not good. That's not smart. That's what.
Oh man, correct. And so yeah, as McMillian was saying, he was being chased by some hollows, and then of course, right before he was about to die, the gang pulls up to save his life. And I like how they basically just reintroduced everybody, and they came up with some cool stylized character cards as well. I'll put them up on screen for the people that's watching this on YouTube. I'll put those character cards up on the screen. But yeah, that was nice as well. It was just nice to, just get refreshing what everybody can do. Seeing Orihime healing people and still, blocking the ticks as per usual. Chad being a Chad as usual and just punching the shit out of some hollows. And then, Uriel doing his thing. And then, of course, Ichigo tearing motherfuckers up with his Getsuga Tensho. And I do want to say, it is odd. Well, not necessarily odd. I like how they changed the color of his Getsuga Tensho. It's no longer blue, it's black now, which is basically real reminiscent of his final Getsuga Tensho. Don't know if that was a permanent, like if this was a change that was always in the manga, because the manga isn't colorized, so I'm not sure if this change was in the manga, but just an interesting little touch though. Let you know that, hey, I've gotten stronger over this time we've been gone. We ain't the same no more. It's also sad to see though the full bring marks on his chest and stuff, just to sadly remind me that the full bring arc was not filler.
Oh my god, y'all gotta let that go.
I will not let it go. Kubo was wrong for that, and he know it.
It's not the great. I will admit, it's not one of the best written. It feels like a filler season, although it's canon. But I personally like his design.
I mean, I agree. Yes, terrible. The design is nice. Yes, I agree. I will agree with that. Yes.
I guess the stuff that came out of it, it was explained that Chad and Orihime aren't just some random ass people with abilities. There's a reason that they have things. Okay, so I mean, at least good things came out of it. It just wasn't the best written. I will admit. But y'all gotta let it go.
But y'all can never. It's been 10 years, and I will not move past it. I don't care. But we moved from Ichigo saving his life to we start realizing that oh my gosh, I really should have looked up some of these names. It's been so long. But the captain of the, once again, I don't remember the name of his squad, but the security squad, if you will, I know that much. They was getting
Ikaku?
Huh?
Ikaku. You talking about ball?
No, I'm talking about I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the captain, the weird face one with the bug Bankai.
Oh, I don't know that dude's name.
That's why it's been so long. But anyway, you can go.
But basically, we find out that there's stuff going wrong with Hollows attacking more aggressively everywhere, and like people disappearing. And they're trying to figure out like what that all is. And then we cut back basically to Ichigo and his Ichigo watching over one of the Soul Reapers, and just explaining to him, hey, you've been out for 3 days, got your ass beat. All that, the gang like meets back up, and true Bleach fashion, the ops pull out at his house, and he has to then scrap with them. And then we get a flash back to Ikaku, and I don't know the other lieutenant's name, the guy with the flowers.
It's been so long.
But they're investigating basically the disappearance, and they're like, oh, it wasn't Hollows. Apparently, it was people.
It was the own people from their own town itself, which is crazy.
it ended up kidnapping these people, and then we basically go to the Soul. We flash over to Soul Society. People are attacking the Soul Society. They pull up on Yamamoto and basically like, "Well, dang, oh man, you ain't got no security." He's like, "I am the security." Well, that's crazy
hey. Yamato is here to remind y'all why he is him. All right.
I mean,
I just want y'all to know this.
The moment he said that, though, they disrespect him because they stab a captain into his wall and like, hey, handle that.
Hey, but you saw after that they ran too though, because they know they ain't want none of him.
They ran because it's an anime and they couldn't have him fight in the first episode. That's why
they didn't want none of. They didn't want no pieces of Yamato at all.
But yeah, basically
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto. We basically get to see that there are people now threatening this whole society again. And then we flash back to Ichigo, who's fighting this guy who we first thought was in a wrong car, but as the fight progresses, we find out there's a Quincy who's using a giant cannon, which is, not necessarily the thing Quincy's use because they're known for bows, but hey, it's anime. Anything that's a projectile probably is a bow as far as they're concerned. So we get to the point where Ichigo feels like he has to use his Bankai to basically just end this fight. And apparently that's what the guy wanted all along, as he tries to either seal it away or
completely get rid of it altogether.
Completely get rid of it altogether, because even the captain who got almost killed by Yamamoto, like the way they did it is the captain tried to warn Yamamoto at the same time Ichigo was
doing
technically almost and it turns out that these Quincy's might have the ability to take people's powers
and hollow powers as well, because before I get on that rant, and then we basically just end the episode where we see a group of Quincy's going back to report back to the Quincy King, who is basically going to be the big bad for this whole entire arc. The Quincy King is back, and he wants whatever revenge that happened 1,000 years ago to him. Don't know what happened to him.
If you don't remember, for some reason, Soul Reapers at one point went to war with Quincy's and nearly wiped all of them out, to the point where Uryu and his granddad were believed to be the only ones that survived.
Okay, well, there we go. The Quincy King is back for his revenge because of that, because they almost killed all of them. So he's back. He has declared war, and he coming for all their heads. Simple as that. I mean, no further explanation needed. War. Let's go. And that's what we're in this episode. But before I continue, I also want to preface this with this. I don't know about McMillian, but I am an anime only. I have no idea what's going on. So all of my thoughts and opinions will be coming from an anime only. I have not read the manga. So there we go. What's up?
Oh, I was about to say, what I just said, that is in the anime. It's just that's when Uryu gets introduced, they go into the backstory of the.
Okay, no, I feel you. I'm just saying, just in general, just let everybody know. I don't know what's gonna happen this season. I don't read the manga. This is all new to me.
I know some of what happens. I got to a point that if you read, you can probably get in my eyes. They up there. And figure out where I stopped reading, but I'm along also for the ride for the most part. But you won't get any spoilers out of me.
Okay, well that's beautiful, Peter. But it looks from my first viewing the episode, it looks like the Quincy's have evolved, if you will, to a higher state, because it looks like the Quincy's have gained hollow powers, because the one Quincy's we did saw had the hollow mask on and all that stuff. So it looks like they evolved something to higher than a Quincy. Don't know what the name of it right now. I'm pretty sure they'll reveal us whatever they call themselves here soon. But it looked like the Quincy's also have hollow powers as well. So that'll be interesting to see as the show continues forward, if I'm right on that or not. But that's my first guess. The Quincy's have attained hollow powers, especially because it looks like their secret base was in Waco Mundo. So it looked like they took up residence in Waco Mundo.
Yeah, it could be very well possible that they have hollow powers, and that did look like Waco Mundo, which I wouldn't be surprised about it either, because I'm just like, out of any place you make your base, why not the area that has no person ruling it anymore?
No, I feel you. Yeah, because they did take out Oz and then most of the Arankars, if not all of them. I think maybe only like one. If my memory recall correctly, maybe like one or two actually survived.
I think some of the higher numbers are still around, and you got like Nell.
Yeah,
and
Nelly, yeah.
I don't think they killed Grimjow.
No, I think
No, I don't think they
Ichigo
killed
killed
Grimjow.
that man.
Did he?
Unless he survived.
Well,
Once again, it's been a minute since I've seen this. I've seen this show.
We'll wait and see.
I'm pretty sure they killed Grimjow though.
It's so funny that it's so funny that we're doing this because one of the things I actually really liked about this episode specifically is that they did not have a recap, but maybe they should have the way we're acting right now. I don't know.
It'd be like that sometimes, but no, like I mean, this episode was good. It was just not necessarily everything I hope for, because maybe you was right. Maybe a small little recap here and there might have been.
It would have got a pass.
Might have been good. Yes, they would have got a pass because we haven't seen this show. And this show ain't been airing for 10 years. Yes, they would have got a pass. I agree. But like I said, I do like the fact that they necessarily didn't do a recap. We just, hey, let's get straight into the story. You know, let's go. If you don't know what we about right now, that I'm sorry to tell you. But the ending though for this show, the ED, I don't know if that's going to be the regular ending for every episode, but they did like.
I think that's the opening.
You think that's the opening?
Because it didn't have an opening, and usually the first episode, the ending, if they don't show the opening at the beginner, they show it at the end.
I don't think that's the opening.
I'm not 100. I was gonna say I'm not 100% on it though, because if you were like reading the stuff that was going on when the song was, they say ending. There's a thing that says like ending thing or some theme or something like that. But I was like, this feels like this could also be an opening. I don't know. I was just like the way it was presented.
Yeah, but it was basically just a special ending where they just went and showed some of the scenes from the original show just to, make you feel that nostalgia. And I was like, you know what, I needed this. I'm glad they did this.
I'm also proud to say that Bleach is pretty well known for like having good openings and endings, and I'm gonna be honest with you. You don't like it?
I think I'm one of the few people that really don't like Bleach openings like that.
Oh, that is rare. Oh,
I don't know. It's just like there was not really one Bleach opening that I could just be like, yeah, this is it.
I unfortunately don't know them all by name. I'd have to sing them, and I'm not doing it on this podcast.
No, please,
you're not getting it out of me. You're not getting it out of me.
But no, yeah, I like how they, like I said, the special, not necessarily anniversary, but just a small little promo full of nostalgia where they just showed a whole bunch of different scenes from the original anime. That was real nice. But episode 1 was definitely good. Nice to see Ichigo and the gang back. The animation, of course, is top notch. It's just as good as they've been showing in all the trailers. So,
yes.
I'm definitely glad with that. The only issue I have with this is that they're going to be doing this in 4 cores, which I disagree with that. 2, maybe 3 at the most.
Well, hold on. I'll say this: at least we know how many, because it's not.
Yeah, yes, I agree. At least they came and told us up front. Yes, no, I agree. At least they came and told us up front, and then we just didn't get to episode 13. All right, well, this is the end of the core 1, everybody. What you mean core 1? What the fuck is you talking about?
While I would have preferred it be like 3 or 2, I can kind of understand why before, because what they might want to do with the last couple of things, because Bleach has like 2 one-shot chapters that take place after the series ends. They might want to cover those, and that could have been they probably want extra time to make sure those look as good as everything else.
No, I agree. Listen, if every show is going to be as high quality as episode 1 was, I don't have a problem with the cores at all if they're going to keep this quality up. And it also looked like, correct me if I'm wrong, some of the hollows, every now and then they'll switch from hand-drawn animation to CGI.
Oh yeah, I noticed that too. But it didn't seem like it was all of them. It just seemed like it was
just
the one that
ones
was
every now and then. Yeah,
it seemed like it was the one that was in the beginning that was chasing. Oh boy, that was the one I noticed it with. I didn't really notice it with the others. Yeah, but I don't know if I was really looking for it then because the gang was back. I was like the goons. So
No, I was the only reason I brought that up because just how people is with CGI and stuff like that. But it didn't bother me. I just noticed it. But I was like, oh, okay, that actually looks good. But of course, some people might beg to differ though. That's the only reason why I brought it up.
Yep.
That was the only reason. But let's go ahead and get to some favorite scenes. And I got to start off with the Yamato scene when that group, the mystery group, don't know who they is, just pulled up on Yamato and declared war. My boy Yamamoto, I don't know why I keep saying Yamamoto. Who is Yamato? Yamato is from somebody that's from One Piece. Yamamoto, the head captain of the 13 Squad Guards, is here to remind everybody why he is him. All right. Them boys pulled up, said, y'all might need to tighten up security around here. He said, what? Do you know who you talking to? I'm here. I'm the greatest security there is, motherfucker. What is you talking about?
So,
man, just hard.
No, I agree.
On some Escanor type shit. Like, fuck is you talking about?
It's so funny that's your favorite scene because mine, it's basically the same, but it's the part after when he was like, I am the security. And then, oh boy, just gets launched into the wall. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry to say this, Yamamoto. They're not here to fuck around.
they are not here to fuck around. As you can see, they got your lieutenant looking bad over there.
Mm-hmm.
Real bad.
Straight in the wall. Which, in my opinion, I really liked because I feel like a lot of times with animes now, especially after what Naruto's the whole talk no jutsu thing, and then certain other animes where you can talk your way out of fights. I just really like that statement. Like, no, we understand who you are. This is who we are. All right. This ain't about to go over no other way than hands.
We want war.
Yeah.
We're here for war.
That was just a great way to do it.
No, I agree. And then my last favorite, well, I guess of course the intro with showing the gang again was cool. Mm-hmm. One of my favorite scenes, but I'm not going to go too deep into that. If you've seen it, you've seen it. You've seen
that was nostalgia.
Yes, that was nostalgia. Full nostalgia right there. So of course that was one of my favorite scenes as well. But my other favorite scene is when that unknown Quincy pulled up to Ichigo's room. And he's sitting here trying to talk to Ichigo, and Ichigo just like, hey man, I don't know who you are, but get off my bed. And they
always pull up to his house.
I don't know why, but they always pull up to his house.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it, but they always show up at his house, and either he wins or they beat his ass.
It's no in between. It's no in between. But yeah, Ichigo kept telling this man, hey, get off my bed, and while the Quincy's just sitting here talking, he just dynamic entry'd his ass straight out the window. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about right here. We don't do all that talking. This is Bleach. Fuck all that talking. Let's get it.
It's not in this episode, but I had to talk. Like, one of the best scenes in Bleach was when Ichigo snatched up Aizen and was like, "Come on, dog, let's go." So, hey. I mean, it's not as cool as that, but it was definitely reminiscent of like, why are we doing all this talking? Like, no, bring it.
Like, do you not realize you pulled up to my house? Mm-hmm. You think we finna talk? No, get out this window. Yeah, I just thought that was funny because you only see stuff like that normally in Bleach. Of course, other shows they're trying to bring back comedy in that type of comedy in anime nowadays, but I don't know, it's just something about Bleach and the way they do their comedy is just hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely. Trying to think of, you basically took all the favorite scenes I had.
I only had two technically.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like I like those are the standouts. The only other thing I could really,
no, I feel you.
Yeah, that was the only thing I could really talk about is the beginning, but we all know why that was everybody's favorite scene. So,
yeah, no, I feel you on that. Well, if that's the case, let's go ahead and rate this episode. And you know what? You go ahead and start us off, McMillian. What you got?
That was a solid 8 for me. It had a great introduction. Didn't waste no time really foiling on like what Bleach used to be. It was like, this is what we are back. We are here. Let us tell you this story. And I thought it did a great introduction. It gets you interested in the current of like what's currently about to go on. You get to see the old characters, and it doesn't really I feel like waste much time on being like, this is Captain so and so, or like it doesn't like over explain its hand. It's like, this is for the fans of this show, and if you're not one, go back and watch the old stuff and come back when you're ready.
Yeah,
like I think it did a
because
good job.
Now that you brought that up, I would not have been mad if they gave us a quick recap of who all the captains was, just because it's been so long. And they still might do that, in further episodes. Like, who knows? We might get that in episode 2. We might, I'm pretty sure we're about to get he's about to hold a captain's meeting here after these motherfuckers just came and declared war on them. So we're probably gonna get our recap then. And but no, I agree. No, it was good. For me, I think I'm gonna go ahead and let the nostalgia kick in. I'm gonna give it a 9. Great episode, great return. I love Bleach once again. Bleach is back to show you motherfuckers why it's one of the big 3. And to stop all this disrespecting that y'all been giving out these past 10 years, Ichigo is he back? He back. All right, he back. And then, but no, it was great. Like you said, the intro scene where Ichigo and the gang fighting all the hollows, of course, that was amazing. And then just Yamamoto, my boy. I don't know why that is my favorite old geezer in anime, right there. Well, I ain't gonna say one of my favorites. I ain't gonna put him at the top right now, but definitely one of my favorites. He just talks so much shit because when he pulls up, he finna shut everything down. Just gotta love him. So yeah. Nah, for me, I mean, Bleach came back with a strong, very very strong return here.
Fair.
Well, all right. Well, that is the end of our Bleach review. Let us know how you guys feel about the return of Bleach. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you a hater? If you're a Bleach hater, hey, come tell us why you're a Bleach hater. I would like to know.
Stop the cap.
I would genuinely like to know what you did not like about this episode.
Stop the cap. That's all I
But with all that being said, we're going to head on to our next anime review here, everybody. One of McMillian's favorite of the season. We're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing an episode review of the Witch of Mercury episode 2. Gundam Witch from Mercury, to be exact, episode 2. So yeah, let's just go and get into it. McMillian says this is your child for the season, if you will. Why don't you start us off here?
Truly my child. So we start off episode 2 basically straight off the episode 1, where Sueta has just won her first match and gained, what's her name? Could you remind me of her name? Mioran as her fiance. Not right on the coattails of that though. The school sends out their, I want to say maybe their security squad to commandeer Sueta and her mobile suit because it's a Gundam and those are illegal in this world, or at least in this Gundam universe, which results in a whole bunch of things of like people trying to basically figure out like what's her deal. We finally get to understand like why the show is called The Witch of Mercury, because they finally name dropped the fact that like, Mercury is a bum hick of a planet. The company that is supporting her shouldn't even have the equipment to make a mobile suit of this quality. How is this possible? Yada yada. It's basically like magic, hence the witch.
And the fact that she was still alive because the old Gundam prototypes killed their pilots, and so the fact that she was able to pilot the Gundam without dying, just, witch. But basically throughout the episode we kind of follow Miran and the girl who, we follow a whole bunch of people. Miran might be the focus here, as she tries to figure out like what she can do to help Sueta, or as well as like still deal with the fact that like her dad is such a driving force for her life. Her dad is an asshole. I just want to point that out.
Yeah. Oh yes. I mean, he's probably the reason for the prologue episode.
You can continue, but he's an asshole.
But so from there we basically get to see them argue over the fact of like whether Sueta is going to be able to stay in the school. There's a whole bunch of corporate dealings going on where we find out like the person who's over the company that is representing Sueta and her Gundam comes to visit the school and like, hey, I talks to the guy who son she just beat, and is basically like, hey, you're gonna want to ask me for a favor. I'm not asking you for one. And so you gotta So there's a mystery of like what all that's about.
Mm-hmm.
They basically meet to discuss if she can continue going there, and they kind of end up at a stalemate because some people are interested to see like exactly how. Well, because they end up arguing like, oh, this isn't a Gundam because it doesn't have these signatures of a Gundam, and then some people are like, yeah, but it also has these. So they're all arguing over like the absence of evidence until Miura is like, look, I don't care what none of y'all say. I'm here to talk to my dad. Fuck you, you piece of shit. Let her go. and he's basically like, what, girl? No. And she's like, I'll challenge you to a fight, and if we win,
you to a duel.
Yeah, and if we win, she gets to stay and go to school here, and if you win, you can do whatever you get whatever you want. And that's basically kind of where we like leave off in this episode.
Correct. Now, I will say once again, well, first of all, great recap, sir. Thank you. But I will say once again, I have never watched a Gundam anime before in my life. I always played the Gundam games when I was a child and a teen growing up. I used to love the different Gundam games. I played a lot of different Gundam games, but I don't know why, but I played the games, but I just never watched any of the shows. Weird. Very, very weird. But I'm definitely enjoying the hell out of Witch of Mercury, and definitely when I get done with this one, whenever I get some time, I'm going to go back and add some of the old Gundam shows to the queue. And I'm going ahead and start watching them because I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this.
It's so funny that you say you haven't watched it. Over the weekend, I had watched, I think like a TikTok I came across, and some of the girl was like explaining animes that she loved, but would never, that you could not pay her to watch again. The previous Gundam series, Iron Blood Orphans, was on it, and she was like, "It's amazing. I love it. It's phenomenal." Is also the thing that put me in depression for a while. After it, I can't go back. So just as a warning, Iron Blood Orphans is great. It's one of my favorites. It's the one that came out before this one.
Okay.
That highly recommend. I know I'm not supposed to be recommending stuff this early, but just putting that out there. If you are watching Witch of Mercury, if this is your favorite, if this is your first kind of like Aces, I would highly recommend going and watching the previous one. It tells a really good story. It might hurt though. So
it might hurt.
It might hurt. Just this is a preface.
I'm done.
But I really am enjoying this one so far. One because this is the first time we've ever gotten a female protagonist, and I think that's a very
that's cool.
Nice route that they're going. And two, this is an interesting premise because I don't think this is necessarily the first time in Gundam that Gundams have been outlawed or seen as bad. Okay. Because they're usually like, out of all mobile suits, they're like the bee's knees. Like everybody's like, nigga, if you got this, you win in 90% of your fights, unless you're just a trash pilot.
Okay.
So like, I highly doubt this might be the first one where they're illegal, but I do like the spin on like this. The technology that they're making to use Gundams wasn't even necessarily meant for war. It was like meant to help with
humans live out in space. Yeah.
Live out in space, and also just like continue, like for instance, the same technology that's in the Gundam that she pilots is also helping her mom with the artificial arm. I was like, that's a very interesting way to like tie that together.
Do you think old girl that pulled up was her mom, the one from the company?
I don't know, because she's masked, and anytime someone's masked, I'm like, okay, you have to be masked either for the fact that we know who you are, or they just want to do a fancy reveal. So I don't know, but to me, she does not look like her mother. So
I agree. She doesn't look like her mother either, but it's been at least a decade since the prologue. Mm-hmm. I think about around that time frame, like a decade since the prologue.
Yeah.
Because Suletta was a baby then.
I think it's been more, because if I'm not mistaken, in the prologue they were celebrating her 4th birthday.
That's what I said. At least a decade.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, and I think in the first episode of this episode, her age, they say her age is 17. I cannot. Yeah. So it's been a minute, but yeah, I don't. So it could very well be her mother. She's just different,
mm-hmm.
or it could be someone that also used to work for whatever company they were.
The company that they was part of, yeah.
And then came to Mercury to help out Suletta and her mom.
Okay, well, yeah, because I was just about to say no, because everybody that was on that base died, but them. They killed everybody but them, because they got away, in the Gundam. But so yeah, it would be somebody, like you said, from the company that they just represent, which is interesting because they leave whatever that space station was, and they I guess they find refuge on Mercury. And, whatever company was there decided to just continue the research in secret. Like, hey, we know this is a Gundam, but we finna continue the research on this.
I mean, to me, it makes sense because I would imagine not everybody in that world would have wanted that research to stop, especially the way it did. Because Jesus Christ, but so I the only thing that like makes me think that one, the possibility it could be her mom is that we don't know. We know her mom asked her to go to that school, and so that could be her showing up to protect like whatever plan she has for Suet to be in there. Because you can't tell me she going to the school the dude who's the whole reason her family. The whole reason this shit popped off, and they don't have some type of plan going on.
No, I agree. Like her mother has, like you said, has to have some type of plan because she knows what that mobile suit is. She knows it's a Gundam, and I'm pretty sure she knows that the school was going to find out about it, one way or another. So, like, I do agree with you on that. Her mother, whether it be the person that pulled up here in episode 2 or just who's collaborating with that person, they got to have some type of plan going on.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely agree with that, 100%. Especially because, as we all know from watching the prologue in these first 2 episodes, Dylan is doing some shady shit. We don't know to the full extent of what, but we know most of his shady shit he was doing was to put him in power. Now everything after that, who knows?
I was legit. They don't in this episode. They don't go as far as to show you exactly what all his clout, quote unquote, has gotten him. Other than the fact that like he is obviously the head of a multi-conglomerate type of organization that has many sub companies under it. Yeah, some companies under it, and they kind of refer to him. And I don't know what that means for like the government of the worlds, because obviously we're in space now, so we don't know like how that affects Earth. Correct. But he definitely seems like he is sitting pretty good. But I still want to know what like. Because I feel like there's more than just like, oh, I eliminated that scientist and our whole research team to get rich. I feel like there's more to it than just that, and I'm waiting to see. Agree. And I'm waiting to see exactly like what it was, but I guess besides putting himself at the head of a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, because you would like to think that, because like it's not like the technology that they was working on in the facility was bad. Like, yes, of course it was harming the pilots and stuff like that, but like you said, it was being used for other stuff besides making Gundam. So I would like to think as well that Dylan attacked that facility to not only, of course, shut down the facility, production of Gundams, but it had to be a deeper meaning behind it. Like, you're not just killing all these people for nothing. You know what I mean? And it also just for you, well, you could be, who knows if you're that type of guy. He might have been, he might have did all that just to put himself in power. Who knows?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't doubt it. Money is a very powerful motivator.
Correct. No, yes.
but I just feel like the fact that in the prologue, he was on a world stage, presenting this. I feel like it has to be more than just ruling a company.
Power. Yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you on that. He might have some type of master plan as well. Besides, I just want to get all this high status and money. I agree 100% because he's just doing a lot. He's doing too much shady shit. That's just besides. I just want to be in power. No, I 100% feel you on that. Because we also don't know about what they talk about it a little bit, but we don't really know about like all the quote unquote enemy factions that's out there and things of that nature. So there's no telling what the hell Dylan got planned on going on.
Yeah, and then also there's like the one thing I found interesting or like that I liked about it is that God, I'm gonna keep forgetting this girl's name.
Mioran.
Thank you. Mioran has an interest to go to Earth that she's been shown to have since the first episode. And it when like that girl who was supposed to be like when that lady comes who was supposed to be like her rendezvous basically to get her there, when she mentions it, like Mioran's whole expression changes like, oh my God, I can finally go to Earth or go back there or something. And usually in the Gundam universe, Earth, Mars are like the populated planets. I just want to know is there something special happening on Earth? Or is it just her home? Or does she just want to go back home? Yeah, I'm wondering if there's something more to it.
Yeah, I feel you on that because we don't know if Mioran was born on Earth or in space. We don't know that. So, like you said, she could just be wanting to go home, or we do know she wants to get away from her dad. So maybe she just figured instead of going to some random place to hide, why not just go hide on Earth with other humans and stuff like that? So,
yeah, and I mean,
and that could just very well be the case.
I mean, they even show like there's kind of like a class system almost based on like where you're born, because they show in one part of the episode is like they go to they show these bullies, or the girl who helped Sueta compete was getting bullied by these other kids, and they were called like planeters or something like that, and they were calling them like spacers or whatever. And I'm like, oh, so there's it seems frowned upon to live in space or be born in space or whatever,
and vice versa.
Yeah. So there's something else entirely going on with the cast. I'm just real interested to see, I guess, how it folds out, because
all the different school dynamics, and groups and cliques and stuff.
Because while Gundam has badass giant mech fights, it also has a real interesting like political stuff. So I'm waiting to see where all that leads as well. But yeah,
no, I agree.
Good episode.
I agree. So let's go ahead and hop into some favorite scenes then. And I think I really only have one for this episode, and it was actually like one of the very last scenes where right after Mia Ran had got through talking to her dad, she went and ran and told Suletta the news like, hey, we got to go fight. It's either fight or get kicked out. And Suletta's just like, what? Like, you just see the expression on her face. Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? But the reason why I really like that scene, though, because it really just shows you how much Mia Ryan actually kind of really care for Suletta like that, just that fast, even though she just met her. But she does actually have some feelings for her. And it's like she didn't leave her behind. She had the choice to leave her behind, but she didn't.
I was about to say, I really like that scene too, because for the basically the reason you said, like she couldn't, one, it demonstrated like she couldn't leave her behind, and like two, she was just like, hey, we gotta take care of this. I only have, well, technically I guess I can count that as a favorite scene, but like my other one that I had was just the boardroom meeting of everything, because it just showed like it introduced the I guess the tertiary or quaternary characters that are kind of in charge of the school, and what their mindset is in the terms of like when dealing with the Gundam. Because I'm just like, this is very much still like this is a school, but these a decent amount of these people are learning to fight, learning to use machines that were made for wartime.
Correct.
So I'm just like, what is the I guess I'm trying to get like inside the minds of the people running it, because that definitely is going to have an effect later on in other episodes. Yeah, because the people. No. What I was going to say is because the people that were interested, the people that are either that showed that they didn't want the Gundam there are going to be a problem, and just as much as the people that were like, oh no, we don't gotta, we don't gotta send her home. We could, we can use this. Like, we can use it. Yeah. So I just feel like that was a good thing, because I'm like, okay, I'm learning who the players are. Yeah. And what might come about. So yeah.
No, I agree, because also during that meeting, right before that meeting, like you can kind of see the internal strife that's within the company as well, because a lot of different people are they've been going to that one guy with the dad who's led a beat. A lot of different people been pulling up to him like, hey, we should do this, we should do that. And he was even at, I think it was either the prologue or episode 1. He was gonna kill Dylan until he found out that his son was defeated. So we know for a fact that he's gonna be a major player one way or another in this show, because he was, like I said, he was finna off Dylan in episode 1. And even though I did find it interesting that he decided not to go with it after he found out his son lost. I guess he probably thought all that commotion will be too much at one time.
Because I think I think it was said best probably like at the beginning of the episode, or some part in this episode, when he was talking to his son. He was like, I had Dylan overrule or void your loss. Yeah. So he was like, but don't let that shit happen again. Yeah.
And then also with that being said, you get to see how, because it was in episode 1 as well, his dad was talking about how basically his son been showing off their line of mobile suits and stuff like that. So it got me thinking that, like you said earlier, this school is also how they're basically using the kids to test mobile suits in a way. Because it looks like whichever company's suits perform the best is what's going to get mass produced and things like that. At least that's what I'm guesstimating and theorizing at the moment. Like the winners and people who's showing off mobile suits and stuff at the school, these are the ones we're going to prioritize and mass produce. And of course, that's going to be the company that gets majority of the money. Of course, you know what I mean. So
more power, more Yeah, definitely.
So I definitely do think the students are playing in a role in which companies like rise to the top and which ones fall as well. I definitely think that's being a role being played in that as well.
Yeah, no, I couldn't say it better myself. So we can go into ratings.
I agree.
This episode specifically, I think is like a 7.5 for me.
Okay.
Like it, not saying it was bad. I think it was above average. Honestly, it just built off of like what episode 1 did.
Yeah.
If you give me a moment, I can rank all of them. The prologue is a 10 out of 10.
Hey, that prologue was nasty.
Simply because if you want a good example on how to start a series, that is how you do it.
That prologue was nasty. I don't know. It could have just been episode 1, to be honest with you.
I mean, yes, but it was basically episode 1. I don't know why you wouldn't watch it, but that is the perfect way to start a series. Give you just enough information to know what the fuck is going on outside of the world, and then come in real quick with this is the problem. These are the consequences of that problem.
Oh man!
Episode 1 is also, I think, around like a 7.5 or 8 to me.
Okay.
Nice way to, like I said, good introductory, nice action, stuff like that. It's just like since it's a school thing, that might have slowed it down a bit, and that might be what's like doing the like 0.5 thing. It's almost same thing a little bit for this episode. It's like some stuff I thought was a little bit slow. Like we could have gotten, I feel like, more faster.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see how they're going to start doing a lot of just, internal, not internal conflict, but external conflict to just kind of like give more dire straits to the show and stuff like that. So that's going to be interesting to see, as the show goes on. I'm not going to rank every episode like McMillian did, but
I just had to, because I love this shit.
No, I feel you, but I will say that prologue was a fucking banger. That shit was amazing. Like you said, I agree with you. I don't know why you would not watch that. It was good. But anyways, I'm gonna give episode 2 the smooth 7. Nothing crazy happened. We did get a lot of dialogue and plot that moved the story, information and stuff that moved the plot forward. But it was good. And then, like I said, like McMillian said earlier, we found out why old girl's being called the witch now, the Witch of Mercury. So that was also a nice little nod to the name of the show as well. So it was just nice. Overall, solid show. Not solid show, solid episode. So yeah, I'll give it a 7.
Yep. With that, we will move into our last.
No, we will not.
Oh no,
you are messing up my stuff.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I apologize. No, I apologize because I did not send you the outline for this episode. So it is his fault, but it's not his fault, everybody. But we're gonna hop into a small bonus discussion, everybody. So we're gonna be doing these every now and then, every weekly episode to help just. Because it's a lot of fucking freaking fall episode shows, good fall shows going on this season. We want to talk about them. So, Blue Lock was way, way, way better than I expected. I have never seen a sports anime before in my life, but McMillian was hyping the fuck out of this show. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and check it out. And they done flipped this show on its head for me. It is amazing.
Just to talk about it briefly, I'm not gonna give a recap or anything. I'll just say this: the reason I hype it is because the manga was hyped online to me so much that I was like, okay, I gotta check it out. Read the first volume, instantly fell in love with it. And the first episode did it perfect justice. I think this is going to be one to look out for, especially if you haven't. Just like Ace said, if you haven't watched sports anime, because the only other sports anime I've seen. I was about to say Haikyuu, but I've also seen Kuroko's Basket. So I've seen 2 besides this one. But this is, in my opinion, what I know for Blue Lock so far, it's the most interesting to me. I definitely recommend, if you have not seen it, go watch it.
I agree. I agree as well. And then for this last episode of My Hero, I finally understand why all you motherfuckers like Mirko. She popped off last episode. She went crazy, like she went crazy on all those no moves.
It's so funny during the episode when all that shit happened. I was like, she's not number 5, she's not number 4, she's not number 2. That's number 1. That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT.
Unfortunately, her what's really holding her back from being like a number one hero, unfortunately, is her quirk. Even though her quirk, the way she utilizes it, she utilizes the fuck out of that shit. Then don't get me wrong now, but unfortunately, her at the end of the day, her quirk is the reason why she's not higher than a number 5. Unfortunately.
Yeah, true. But she the fan favorite.
And I see why now.
Yeah, that's the one everybody rooted for, including me. I have a Mirko shirt. I didn't wear it today. But I wear it today. Just know it's there.
It's okay. He gonna pull it out one episode.
Yeah, exactly.
He gonna pull it out. But no, that was good. And then I do want to touch up on a little bit of Reincarnated as a Sword. Like I said, I never knew what this was. It's an isekai, but the only reason I decided to check it out was because it had such a odd title. I was like, I gotta check it out. And because I've been getting to isekais a lot recently, I was like, I definitely gotta check it out. I'm getting heavy slime and Shield Hero vibes because one of the main characters, which is a guy that got reincarnated as a sword, as the title suggests, he basically has a power to whatever monster he kills, he absorbs their abilities / skills. Same thing similar to slime, same thing similar to Shield Hero. Whenever they kill a monster, they absorb their skills. So it's definitely in no same ballpark as that. Look like it's going to have a lot of action in it, especially from the way episode 1 ended. Look like we're going to be going and slaying some goblins in this next episode. But episode 1 was good. The other main character, which is a black cat, which is they call him. She seems like a decent character for right now. Only time will tell how much I would get to like her, but it was decent.
Yeah, I thought it was okay. I am not. I'll say this: I won't say I'm waiting for bated breath to see the rest of it, but I'm like, I need for it to hold me. I'm gonna need more.
No, I agree.
guess of like what exactly. I guess one, how different it is for him to be wielded by a person.
Yeah.
And then 2, like, what is the I guess like what
intricacies of the world? Yeah, because we didn't get none of that in the first episode. Of course, we know it's a fantasy world. There's magic and stuff in it, and there's people slaving people probably in different places around the world. But we don't know nothing about like none of the countries in this world, none of the government structures, none of that. We don't know what's going on as far as world building. We didn't get none of that in episode 1, really. So, like you said, I do agree with you as well. For me to really continue watching this show, I do need them to go ahead and do some world building and show me why I should care about this world and what's going on, just besides her wanting to get stronger and evolve. You got to give me more than that. I agree. Unless it's just going to be a good ass time to watch. Unless it's going to be that.
It could just be a good ass time to watch.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was about it. Just like I said, a lot of different. Oh, well, Mob Psycho. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but episode 1 was good. I miss Mob Psycho, and I'm gonna say it now. This opening is better than the first one. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. It's better than the first one. I can't.
Ooh, I don't. I'm gonna have to hear it some more to do that. It's good. It's good to me. It's like the second one.
Yeah, if it's not first, it's definitely second because it definitely beats season 2 opening 100%. 100%. But I love Mob Psycho. Season 3 is out. If you've never seen Mob Psycho at all, please
go watch
it. I'm not going to go too deep into that. And then last one because McMillian also told me to watch this. Everybody, Eminence in Shadow.
Yes. I'm not gonna go too much into it. I'm gonna let Ace give his whatever he feels. I've read so much of this that it's kind of unfair. Just know that they are throwing y'all for a loop for this first episode. That's not the rest of the anime. It's good. Don't let me. If you thought the first episode was good, keep watching. It's gonna get better. But do note, this is a comedy. I just want to remind people of that.
This is which is even more wild because I don't see comedy because this. Like episode 1 was filled with some crazy action. Yes, there was funny moments in there, but like it was some brutal action in it. Like we were seeing the main character beating the fuck out of people with crowbars and shit, like beating them to death basically with crowbars. I don't know if he killed them, but hey, if he didn't kill them, he beat them to the brink of death. I know that for sure. So that was wild. But then, like you said, they threw that plot twist at the end where we found out that he did die and he got reincarnated. into another world with magic and stuff, just like he wanted. Because for whatever reason, ever since he was a child, he wanted to be a hero on some My Hero type shit,
No,
and he got his wish.
He wanted to be the Eminence in Shadow. That is specific. He wanted to be the kid. He wanted to be the Shadow the Hedgehog. Specific
words. I feel you on that.
He wanted to be the Shadow the Hedgehog. He wanted to be the Meta Knight. He wanted to be that type of character specifically, and that is important. Okay. But I will say this though: if you like the action, it gets crazier later, and that's not gonna stop. I'm just wanting people to know that this is not a serious series, because that first episode threw me for a loop, because I was like, am I watching the right show?
But yes, no, I'll definitely give my deeper opinions on it as the show continues out throughout the season to see if there's something that's going to be definitely worth your watch. But I mean, as of right now, episode 1 was good, so I would definitely say check it out. I can't say if it's going to be a good show for the long run, because it's only been 1 episode. Of course, you got to give at least about 3 to 5 episodes to truly get the gist of it. But like I said, I'll be giving my opinion on it as the fall season goes along. But moving on from there, we're just going to go ahead and give out our weekly anime recommendation, everybody. And we're going to start us off with Summertime Rendering. If you don't know what it is, it's a show. Unfortunately, right now, it's still region locked, currently on Disney Plus, but I don't condone pirating. However, when the publishers give you / distributors give you no other way to watch the show, I don't know what else they expect us to do. But yeah, so I like to classify this show as a supernatural murder mystery. That's what I like to classify it as. But
I think that's what it is. You hit the nail on the head.
But we follow the main character Shinpei, where he's going to return to his hometown, which is an island. I don't have yes, I do. Hidogashimi Island, which is his hometown. He was coming from Tokyo, but he's returning to his hometown island because one of his childhood friends, Ushio, died. So he's going back for the funeral. When he goes back to the funeral, he finds out that she died due to drowning, but his other best friend was telling him that, hey, let me tell you a secret. When my dad was doing the autopsy on her body, he found strangle marks on her neck, which indicates that she was basically strangled to death and not actually drowned. And so, of course, with that being said, Shinpei starts looking around and stuff like that, and he come across some crazy stuff. There's this old folklore tale that about the shadows who basically copy a person, and if you ever see your shadow, that means you're gonna die. And I'm gonna just leave it there, because after apparently shadows are real. That's not a spoiler because it's in the first episode, but apparently shadows are real. And once Shinpei realizes that realization, all hell just breaks loose, and we just go down into a crazy, like I said, murder mystery show, and finding out what happened to Ishio, finding out what the hell is going on in this island altogether, and can he just put all the pieces together? It is a beautiful show. It's really sad that this was region locked during the time it was airing. It's finished airing now, but it's really a shame that it was region locked during the time it was airing. Like I said, I don't condone piracy, but when the distributors give you no other way to watch the show, what can you do? So once again, Summertime Rendering, go check it out. Amazing show.
I agree.
And then McMillian, if you want to go ahead and start us off for our last anime review we have here for today, everybody, Spy Family, episode 14, Disarm the Time Bomb.
So we join back this episode where we left off with Yor killing a man, and we find out basically through Anya and Yor and them are able to get away with the dog, but unfortunately the dog immediately after has a vision of Lloyd's presumed death. And it is Anya then takes it upon herself to figure out what the fuck is going on and stop it, which leads to some very funny hijinks because Anya does not know how to tell time, and the big factor of the vision is time, hence the name of the episode, which leads her having to ask a whole bunch of people like how to read the clock. She gets her answer. She gets that question answered. She then infiltrates the bad guy's old hideout, where she then writes a warning notice on the door that there's a bomb hooked up, and that that would have basically killed the spies because they were going around the hideouts tracking down people and capturing them.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a little touch and go there for a second because I really thought they was about to have Anya disarm this bomb, and I was like, this is going to be the wildest shit ever. But they didn't. And it was still good. But I was like, we about to get real dark. Actually, this episode did take a dark turn at one point because how I mentioned, they were going around basically rounding up the terrorists in their hideouts. At one point, Lloyd's handler is basically interviewing the people because they're like, "Oh, you want to start war, huh? You think this shit funny?" And she's like, "Have you?" She started basically naming off all the casualties of wars and stuff that happens in wars, and none of them can answer the question. And it's obviously that they are just a bunch of dumb college students who are like, "Let's cause an international incident. It'll be fun, right? It'll be good." No,
she proved them.
No.
Do you think she killed them?
No, I don't think she killed them
because she wasn't playing at that point.
I mean, let's be real. I'd be like that too. The fuck do you mean y'all want to start war? Y'all just tired of it being peaceful? Like what? Who are y'all? Who are y'all to say this?
Like she was not playing with them in that scene at all.
I'd be mad too as an adult. Like this. I mean, I hate to bring up like MCU into this, but like for instance, just think about like if you were part of the Avengers and you see a sign that said Thanos was right, bitch.
Don't let me find you.
Let me talk to you real quick.
Especially my family got snapped away. Don't let me find you, motherfucker.
Exactly. Let me talk to you real quick. That's basically what it was. They was like, we're gonna start war. The whole reason you became a spy to prevent war. We gonna do this shit because we're bored. I guess. What?
No, I feel you on that. I feel you.
But to finish off, basically, we get to a point where the leader is the only one left. And so they track down the government officials that they're looking for. But because of Anya saving Lloyd, Lloyd is able to take the place of the said governor and lead the leader of the terrorist group into a trap to where the point he is able to apprehend him. And no dogs died.
Well,
lo and behold.
No.
Well, he did. Wait, did he kill that? Did that dog
they
kill?
didn't show it because that's basically right before he shot it. That's where the episode ended. But I'm pretty sure you're going to have to shoot that dog.
Did he shoot the dog?
He did not shoot it because that's where the episode ended. But I'm pretty sure he's going to have to shoot that dog.
He could trank it. It could be a trank.
Okay, I'll give you that. It could be a tranquilizer. You're right. It could be a tranquilizer.
It could be a trank. I hope it's a trank.
Regardless, whether it's a trank or not, that dog is getting shot one way or another.
But that was basically where we left off was on the cliffhanger of whether or not Lloyd's going to kill or trank this dog.
Yeah.
And that he's still kind of in. Well, he has to. I mean, like it basically seems like he's already apprehended him, but we have to wait to see if he'll get away. With stopping the terrorist group.
I think the major thing I really took from out this episode was the fact that Anya basically has clairvoyance now because her dog has it, and whenever she reads the dog mind, she sees into the future as well. So she, at this point, she got it as well too. So because I'm pretty sure at this point there's not going to be too many times where Anya and the dog are going to be apart from each other. Of course, maybe sometimes the dog's going to have to stay home whenever the family goes out and stuff like that. You know, they're not going to take the dog with them every time they go out. But other than that, I mean, they're going to be together for the most part. Anya has clairvoyance now. She can see into the future now, basically, because of her dog.
Yep. And that way we know anytime Anya and the dog are focused on episode, hilarity and wild shit will most likely pop off. So it's something to look forward to.
No, 100%. 100%. But yeah, no, like I said, nothing really too much crazy happened this episode. They just, the spies, they rounding up all the people that's trying to blow up the bombs, and the only person that's left right now is Keith, who was the head honcho of the group. So it looks like this whole bomb situation is going to end within the next 2 episodes. So I'm definitely interested to see what the rest of this season holds in terms of arcs and just turmoil and stuff like that. Also, I guess we're probably going to do some more school stuff because we haven't done anything related to school yet, because we've been dealing with this guy trying to blow up stuff. But I'm pretty sure after we're done with this, we're going to see Anya go back to school and try and get another Stella. So we're looking forward to that. But let's go ahead and hop into our favorite scenes for this show. One of my favorite scenes was definitely, well, I'm not going to touch upon that, but I'll come back to that one. One of my favorite scenes was when Lloyd had basically, like you said, he was impersonating the prime minister and whatnot, and he was being chased by Keith. And at one point, he got out the car, and this man is just full acrobatics, flipping and running all over the place.
The parkour scene,
yes. Yeah, the parkour scene. And Keith is just chasing him in the car, and he's like, yo, the freaking prime minister is cracked. Like, what is going on?
He like, this 70-year-old man is crazy.
He is insane. I thought that was hilarious.
That was a great scene. I busted up laughing. One of my favorite scenes was Anya going around asking, basically trying to figure out like where to go and stuff like that, because no one was understanding her except for like that old man, and that was just a good time to me. It was a very adorable scene. So,
and then my other favorite scene was, like you said, you mentioned this earlier, where we thought they was really gonna have Anya disarm this bomb, which would have been wild as hell. And as she goes to disarm the bomb, she was like, how do you disarm the bomb? She's like, no, in my spy shows they always cut the blue and red wires, whatever color she named. And as she's going and looking at the bomb, she's like, wait a minute, all these wires are black. What the hell am I supposed to do?
Yep.
And then she realized it was like, I ain't even got nothing to cut the wires with to begin with, even if they were colors and stuff like that. It was just hilarious. I was like, you know what? Because I'm like, ain't no way they finna let Anya disarm this bomb, right? Because if it explodes, she's dead. Like, there's no other way around it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see no time when some Lloyd magically swooped in and stopped her before the explosion. No, she's right there at the bomb. If this bomb goes off, she's dead.
Yep. Yeah, that was I basically the same thing. I felt like I was like, look, I know Spy Family is wild, but are they wild enough to let Anya disarm a bomb? I don't think so. So the fact that I really like how like they subverted the expectation and just let her draw a symbol on the door to be like, hey, don't open it. It was a very good moment.
I agree. Anything else from you, sir?
No, that's about it from me.
Okay, but it's because I know you mentioned earlier the scene where Handler was roughing up those kids was one of your favorite scenes as well.
I mean, I technically already touched upon it.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said we weren't going to go too deep into it. But yeah, that was a good scene though. That was a good scene. That we ain't never seen the Handler act like that before.
Exactly. I was taken aback. I was like, oh, okay. She gonna shoot one of these.
I think she shot one of them. I'm just gonna put it out there. I think she shot one of them just to prove her point. Like, y'all ain't ready for this. Let me go ahead and show you why y'all ain't ready for this. I think she might have. I don't think she probably didn't though, but I wouldn't put it past her. I'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't put it past her.
Not at all.
But yeah, I mean, Spy Family. Well, shoot, I'm talking like we done with this rating. Episode rating.
8.
8?
No, not 8. 7.
Yes, 7. 7.
I'm sorry, you put me on the spot. And like I said, today's been a long day for me, yo. 7.5.
I mean,
7.
if you just going to say, hey, I was just gonna be like, okay.
No, thank you for questioning.
Go ahead and collaborate on that.
Thank you for questioning.
Because I might, I'm just trying to see why you feel like this is an 8. I'm not saying it's not an 8, because I can definitely see the arguments what people will say is an 8, but at least for me, it's just a solid 7.
I don't think it's an 8. Thank you for questioning me on the validity of the 8. It's just been a long day, and I was like, oh shoot, this is the one I didn't rate. It's a 7. It's a strong episode. It's just not. I guess last episode was like a very nice start. This one was just a continuation of that. Maybe it was something that would have pushed it up would have been like the conclusion. Because I do think it's interesting that they stopped like right before the dog thing.
No, for me, what would have pushed it up if the bomb actually went off? Not necessarily when Anya was trying to disarm it, but just in general.
Oh my!
Think about the turmoil that would have went. No, I don't want to hear this.
This is a comedy.
I don't want to hear. No. I don't want to hear no. Oh my! When just last episode you was talking about how you was going to poison everybody, innocents included in everything.
Don't focus on the past.
No, sir.
that's not what we're here for. But no, I that would have been such a genre change. I swear to God.
Hey, let's get some turmoil and some some grief in this show.
It would have been interesting if someone else other than the spies opened it. Because of the writing on the door
or something. Yeah.
Someone could have, like some nosy person.
As fucked up as it would have been, I just think it definitely would have been a lot more interesting if the bomb would have went off. Definitely not on Anya, but just in general, if the bomb would have went off.
I see what you're coming from.
Especially because Anya, she saw into the future. She was trying to prevent it, but just her efforts just wasn't enough. Just because she is a kid, sometimes.
I think. I was just saying, I think the way they would have done it, it wouldn't have been Lloyd. I just think it would have been like some random. It wouldn't even been a spy. It would have been like some random person.
Because like for instance, as Lloyd was stopping the old boy from opening the door, which would have triggered a bomb, we saw the secret police pulling up. What if they would have triggered it? Like they could have triggered.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think it would have been like somebody else. I don't know if they'd actually have done it, and that would have been a very interesting, like, oh shit, like moment. For both the audience and like the characters. So
especially the reason why I say that, because like you said, the audience they're not gonna expect it, and it's just like yeah, Spy Family wouldn't do that. Spy Family would do this. Let me show you.
I agree. But with all that said, guys, that is everything from us. Please do let us know what you thought of these episodes, especially Bleach. Are you a hater? Stop the cap. Let me go ahead and take us on out. For my video watchers, thank you as always.
Before you take us on out, we do want to remind everybody that the premiere of Chainsaw Man is tomorrow on October 11th. At the time of this this episode is at the time of this recording. When this episode goes live, Chainsaw Man will have already been out, so definitely be on the lookout for that. Is one of the premiere shows for this fall season. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Big Billy, but it's one of the premiere shows for this fall season that's going to be coming out here tomorrow, Tuesday, October 11th. So definitely be on the lookout for that. You can continue. I'm sorry, so I just want to get that out.
Yeah, if I had to recommend anything, it'd probably be that. Do look out for that. I've been hyping that up since. So
he's been hyping it up since it got announced.
Let's go. But as always, for my video watchers, thank you for watching. Please consider giving a like, comment, and subscribing to the channel so you can stay up to date when we post these videos. For my audio listeners, consider giving the channel a follow as well as reviewing the podcast. Helps us grow. If you want to stay up to date with all things about the council, please consider giving a follow on Twitter at Gurren Otakus and at Gurren Otaku Council on Instagram and Facebook. As always, guys, appreciate you for watching. Enjoy this summer season. We know we are. This is Gios. This is Gurren Otaku Council saying meeting adjourned.